Thank you everyone so much for taking some time to listen in to our webinar, Unmasking Your Law Firm's Data Security Risks. Why don't we just get right into it? Lots of great content in this deck for you, very laser focused on your industry, assuming of course you come from the legal space, and also content that's very highly concentrated on data security specifically. Most important things you should know, how to figure out if you're a potential future victim of a breach, ways you can prioritize your risks so you can start to remediate and put controls in place, of course, all in the efforts to prevent a catastrophe. So I started Sphere 8 years ago. Of course, I'm partial, and I know that we can be helpful with your data security challenges. I'm going to share also a little bit about what's in our toolkit that can be valuable to you later on towards the end of the presentation. So some of the important things to kick off this conversation that you need to know. First, law firms hold a lot of sensitive data, and the more high profile the cases, the more valuable the data is. And your industry is a major target for bad actors to come in and steal information, whether it's corporate intelligence, government secrets, patent applications, M&A information, and more. And there's even specifics in individual cases that must remain private and not get disclosed, and it's your responsibility to your clients to make sure that that happens. The reason that this data is often the subject of being compromised is because it's very easy to monetize on, and it can easily make a lot of people very rich. A big misconception, though, is that the threat is hackers and it's people coming in from the outside. But more and more research shows that it's the threat from within that's more dangerous. So the negligent or even sometimes conniving disgruntled employee can cause just as much damage than the bad actor coming in from the outside. Sometimes there's also a political agenda. So I'm sure we've all heard of the Panama Papers, the huge data leak that impacted about 12 million files. And the reason for this breach is that the whistleblower gave was income inequality. So lots of reasons that people do the things that they do, that all can be very impactful to our businesses. A big challenge with data security is that it's expensive, and it's not practical for many of the law firms in the industry to spend the kind of dollars to hire all the different experts that they need. And it's also not a quick fix. It's not overnight, and it requires major cultural shifts within your organizations, whether it's the employees, the back office, the lawyers, and it's difficult. And to add more to the dynamics here, the pressure is on because your customers are forcing you down this path. Particularly law firms whose clients are banks or very highly regulated companies. They're making sure that their suppliers, aka the law firms, are putting the right data security practices in place as they are themselves to protect their data. Document management systems play a very important role as well. What's in the systems, what's not in those DMS solutions. If you need data to be in there, why isn't it in there? What cases are they for? Who owns it? How do you categorize it? This adds a whole new dimension to this problem. So are you at risk? Let's look at some of these topics. Have you ever done an inventory of your data? How many folders and files do you have in your file shares? Or what's in SharePoint or Exchange? What's active? What's stale? What should I be keeping? And what can I retire? If you don't know what you have, how are you going to put proactive controls in place? And there's also other basic kind of security measures that you should be thinking about to help you identify and remediate areas of concern. Are there areas where everybody has access to sensitive information, or simply too many people have access to the data? Who should have access and who shouldn't? What about data ownership? It's one of the most fundamental and foundational concepts of data security. Who's the authoritative person and the source for making decisions about those file shares or mailboxes or sites? All of this, of course, leads up to IAM and having a strategy in place for the life cycle of access to the data. A lot of companies focus to start on just a small subset of their Tier 1 applications when they embark on the IAM journey. But looking at integrating and onboarding your unstructured data into the IAM workflows, even if the workflows are manual to start, is a really big win. And also, let's not forget about privileged access. So a lot of what we've talked about thus far was around data ownership, about end user access, but we need to make sure that we also understand who has the godlike powers to the machines the data lives on, and how do you ensure that those accounts and credentials are not compromised. Finally, access controls in general, but definitely on data, are not static. So people join your firm, they move around and even leave, and making sure that access is granted, transferred, and revoked is fundamental. So hopefully I haven't scared you too badly if you feel that you're a little bit behind. Of course we can help, but before we share more on that, let's talk about how we recommend understanding and assessing the drivers and how to start wrapping your head around what to do about some of these risks. So I talked a little bit earlier about creating that baseline, and we do assessments all the time where we figure out what we call the right now, and risk rank your security issues, and then you have to start remediating. GDPR is a really hot topic at the moment, not easing up anytime soon. So if you're a firm that operates in the EU, you need to get up to speed on GDPR. Many people talk about the Googles and the Facebooks of the world that are being targeted with fines, but I believe that that's going to trickle down to all industries. So it's important for all of us to understand, what we're obligated to do. And just as important as regulation is your customers are a driving force behind data security as well. They are the reason that we are in business, and a data breach will make you lose your customers, that's guaranteed. And many clients of yours are sending you 50-page or so risk assessments, and the big area of focus is on protecting their sensitive data. So it's really important that we start focusing more of our time and our energy on this really important topic. So if you're still listening, God bless you. I do think that Sphere is a unique organization. We're very specifically able to add tremendous value to the legal industry. Something interesting to note is that we did get our start in financial services. So many of your clients who are asking you to be more proactive with data security are also our customers. So we know how they require data security to be implemented, and we can help you in the same way, making your clients feel comfortable with your policies and practices. I think what's even more interesting about Sphere is our approach. Another interesting point about the company is we started off providing services, doing assessments and remediations, and over time we started to automate these requirements, and now we deliver this work through our solution called Sphere Board. So this makes projects go smoother, faster, more predictable, and a lot more cost effective. So I mentioned earlier that cybersecurity, and in particular data security, is very expensive. So any way that you can automate some of those repetitive activities is a huge, huge win, especially for the smaller firms. And it's important to recognize that this isn't the type of project that can be done manually, and we've learned that the hard way. So how can we help again? Our solution Sphere Board provides the risk-based reporting and remediation automation for you. We bring together data from all different scanning tools that you have. We leverage our own connectors and provide you with customized visibility into your unstructured data, identity access management, and privileged access management. So everything from creating those baselines that we talked about, assigning ownership, finding and remediating your security issues, and more. And of course, this presentation was highly focused on unstructured data security, but we can be helpful with IAM and PAM needs as well. We have a lot of content for you if you're interested. Just go to our website, sphereco.com. You can access all the resources on the screen. Contact us if you want to have a chat with some of our experts. And of course, we'd love to show you a demo of our solution as well. I hope you found this session helpful. Thank you for your time.